Vader, how is your health not going down? You should be ash by now. You should be a crumbling pile of wet dust. This doesn't make sense. This does not make sense. They should have at least given him more health that was slowly going down, little by little. I mean, obviously, in terms of canon, Vader can't be dead. He still has 3 movies to appear in.
They are real to me. Wait.
Oh, and this opens up all kinds of debate for clone emotions.
Yes, but not yet. Not until he's told us the Empire's secrets. You want to take him prisoner? To a hidden rebel base where we can interrogate him. Put him on trial for crimes against the true Republic. And then we'll execute him. To show the galaxy that we don't need to fear him any longer. If I let him live, he'll haunt me forever. He is the only one who knows if Starkiller really survived. He can't tell you if he's dead.
Light side or dark side? I'm gonna go with light side. People should know me by now. I'm a Paragon kind of person. Also, especially if he's asking to get killed, if I kill him, it just gives him what he wants. And I'm not that kind of guy. I am not gonna give the enemy what he wants. Proxy, what are you even doing here?
I'm sorry. It's not your fault. I should have stayed here.
That was it. That was the Flash. I knew I didn't remember it from the first game. It was a vision of the future. That's awesome. I think that's really cool. Proxy, I think you need an examination. I'm just saying, how did you not tell she was alive? I mean, maybe she awoke a little bit earlier and then decided to say, Proxy, don't tell him. Don't tell him, it'll be hilarious. We can laugh about this later. Bringing up the fact he's a clone is going to be a little bit awkward later on. Also, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but can't we repair Proxy? He looks like he's pretty shot. Why can't we just steal some of Vader's holographic droids, take whatever parts are needed, and then rebuild Proxy, or, you know, repair Proxy, because I don't think it would change him in any way. It wouldn't affect his programming or his personality. Shouldn't do. I mean, I would think that's all in one central processor, however robots work, because I haven't a faintest clue.
May the Force be with you.
Proxy, seriously, no, wait, let's get some of the other droids. We can give you a new arm. Don't you want a new arm? A new eye? I mean, obviously his holographic functions are still working properly, but still. 2 hands are better than 1. I have just noticed something. Clone Killer doesn't wear that many outfits in this game. I do miss all of the different outfits from the first game. I know that's weird to say, but I just liked that there was an outfit for pretty much any occasion.
I let you live. You tell me I'm a clone, but I chose to spare you. Maybe Coda's right. Maybe this is all a trick, a way to get me so confused that I'd forget who I really am and become your slave again. But either way, I let
You live. I've finally broken your hold over me.
As long as she lives, I will always control you.
It took you a while to come up with that retort. And I disagree with you, Vader. I really do disagree with you. I don't know, I just think Clone Killer has something worth fighting for now. He has somebody to protect. That's not really going to control him. If Vader still had her, then yes. Vader would definitely control me.
Prepare for light speed.
If he kills her, well, then he's just unleashed a rage monster who has access to both light side and dark side force powers and has no qualms with using has no qualms with using the dark side against Vader, as we've clearly seen in both of these games. Also, that's an interesting cliffhanger because, well, okay, wait. First of all, for those of you who don't want to watch the credits, I do want to thank you for watching the game and coming this far and seeing all of Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2 in all of its glory. And yeah, feel free to go to my channel, peruse other content which you might like. If you haven't checked out my Let's Play of The Wolf Among Us yet, I do recommend that because I think that's my favorite game that I've played recently. My favorite game, as I've always said, is the Ghostbusters video game, which I have Let's Played, but I looked over some of the footage and I'm not happy with how it turned out. So at some point I'm going to redo that. So feel free to watch that Let's Play if you want, but bear in mind that if you hate it, I am going to redo it. Anyway, for those of you who are staying and wish to appreciate all of the people who put effort into this video game and made it what it was, hi, welcome. Hang on. I swear at the end of the last game you could control the speed of the credits with your thumbsticks. In this game you can't. Oh well. I'm sure I trust their choice of pace in this. I'm sure it's perfectly fine. What was I gonna say? I had something that I was gonna say. I don't know. Well, what do you guys think? I do want to hear from you, your opinions and theories on whether Starkiller is Starkiller or Clone Killer. Whether he's actually a clone or is he the original Clone Killer. I find it interesting that they left it on such a cliffhanger. It feels like we'll never know whether he is a clone or not, and that doubt, in my mind, would eat away at me a little bit. I'd continue to live my own life, though. I wouldn't let it hold me back. I'd just wonder every now and again, and it would kind of make me a little bit depressed, I suppose. Then again, how do I know I am not a clone, doing all of the hard work for the real me, while the real me just lives a life of comfort? Or I'm some weird experiment? I couldn't care less. I'm perfectly content with how I am right now. But yes, I haven't heard anything about a third game. I haven't heard anything about a sequel to this game. Maybe there's one in comic form that I don't know about, or maybe the Star Wars comics actually incorporate what happens after this game into canon to answer any unanswered questions. I'm not sure. I never actually read any of the Star Wars comics. Just weird because I like comics. It's just one of those comics that I never felt compelled to read, or comic series that I felt compelled to read, because I'm awfully picky about what I like to enjoy. I'm very picky about visual style as well. I have a specific style that I'll read. Very occasionally, I'll go out of my comfort zone just because I'm really curious about a particular story. But I'll still hate the artistic style every step of the way through and just go, why? No, it's hideous. I don't mean hideous. They still draw better than I could ever hope to do. So I will kowtow. Kowtow? It is kowtow. Bow down to their level of drawing skill. It is really impressive. But yes, so many unanswered questions, such as, Vader, clearly we know Vader isn't kept hostage in an interrogation facility. Boba Fett is clearly facing, well, I don't know if he's following all of the Rebel Alliance or if he's following us. I get the impression that he's following us for some weird reason, but to be honest, I think he could be just following Vader so that he could free him. Maybe it was all part of Vader's plan so that he could go to the secret facility, because I don't know if those shackles will hold him. Not shackles, but that what do you call it? Whatever his restraint is. It's kind of like an Iron Maiden, but not. Let's call it an Iron Maiden. He could probably bust out of that. I don't trust how secure that is. And I do actually wonder if there are any kind of sedatives which will stop the force coming through, because the Force is part of genetics. I can't remember the particular entity that lives within people, because I'm really not the most up-to-date in terms of Star Wars lore. So, lore. Why am I mixing up my words? It's not even like I'm playing a game. My mind isn't even that distracted. Come on, brain. Get with it. Get with the program. And I can't remember what it is, but that thing allows beings to interact with the Force. So I wonder if there's a drug that can subdue that entity and to kind of repress a connection to the Force. I might actually look that up if I remember anything about this after recording and not forget it the moment I press the record button to stop recording. Because that has happened a few times. I know in the credits I've said a few times, I should really look that up. And then 20 minutes later, I've just completely forgotten about that existence. The thought might as well have never crossed my mind at all. So we'll see. We will see. But yes, what do you think happens? What do you think happens? Or if you know what happens, because it has been established. If you know what happens after this game, please let me know. I'm dying to know what happens, between Starkiller and Juno, because I think they're quite cute. Whether we find out whether he's the original or if he's a clone. Jedi Academy program. Wait, what? What is this? What is this? Jedi Academy is a different game. Why are you putting that in here? Huh? Okay. Speaking of Jedi Academy, I do recommend that game. That, I think, might have been the first Star Wars video game that I ever played, and I truly enjoy it. I think I might have it. I had it on the original Xbox, and I'm pretty sure it still works on the Xbox 360, so I might... No, I didn't bring it to the UK with me. No, that's still in Hong Kong. Never mind. Sad face. But it was a great, fun game because their version of the light side and dark side actually kind of changed as you went through the game. So the more power, or the more force points you invested in light side powers, the more leaning you have towards the light side ending. The more dark side powers, then you get the dark side ending. But you can actually swing it where you're roughly in the middle, which is kind of the light side. You get told by Luke Skywalker that he commends you for being so well balanced and in control. I don't know about control, but I definitely remember the words well balanced in kind of everything, and I think he views that as light side. It makes sense to me. It shows that you're controlling yourself. Although it really is in the middle. It's hard to say. You could go either way with this because I found playing that game that more of the dark side abilities were useful, whereas the light side stuff, not as much. So it's, it's interesting. It's an interesting concept that I do kind of wish they played upon in this game. I also wish that in this game they'd played more with light side and dark side in general, like had more not necessarily choices throughout the game, but more areas where you start questioning whether you should be doing this because it's light side and whether you should be doing this because it's dark side, or disagreeing with Starkiller because he's doing one or the other. This game felt quite short. It ended up being roughly the same length as the first game, which I find interesting. The first game had so many more levels to it, but it was a lot more repetitive in its format, I suppose. In that you'd have to traverse a map and then face a boss, and you'd kind of get the same enemies throughout the entire thing. But the story was there. The story was really interesting, and I felt the story in the first game was far more in depth. In this game, you kind of had two parts to it. First, you had escaping Camino, and then the second part is finding Juno. And that really seems to be it, finding Juno. Then again, chasing after the person you think you love, then yeah, I'm not going to say no to that. But in the first game we had... How did the first game evolve? Okay, we had starting off working with Vader, trying to kill Jedi. Then we got found out by the Emperor. Then we went undercover trying to build a rebel alliance. But it turns out Vader was well, actually, he kind of was and he wasn't manipulating us. He was forward with us, but at the same time he knew that our loyalties were wavering towards the light side. And then we got betrayed, and then we wanted revenge, and we wanted to rescue everybody, not just Juno. We wanted to be the good guy. Very special thanks to George Lucas for this universe. I do wish to thank him for this universe. I know a lot of people criticize him, but can you really criticize him when he's the one who created the original trilogy? I know a lot of people hate the prequel trilogy and are very apprehensive about the sequel trilogy, but let's be honest, it's his universe. He can kind of do whatever he wants with it. If that means remastering because he's changed his mind a little later on, then hell yeah, remaster it. It's your story. Authors do it all the time. They'll write a book, and then they'll constantly go through editing it, until they're completely happy with the story. That's totally normal, but I can also understand that a lot of people don't get that. A lot of people don't understand that creative people are never finished with their projects. Just because they've finished a book and published it doesn't mean they're completely happy with the end result. Just because an artist has a painting that's on the wall of a museum doesn't mean that they felt in their mind finished with it. However, a lot of artists, or creative people I should say, need to know when to step back and say, okay, if I add anything more to this, I think I might start ruining it. So I'm just going to leave it. It's not finished in my mind, but we're leaving it there. Speaking of leaving it there, thank you again, especially those of you who stuck through the credits and watched all of those names go by. And just, so thank you to every one of them. Just going, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are awesome. I hope you stick around on my channel to watch some other things that might interest you. If not, thank you for watching this Let's Play anyway. I do appreciate it, and especially if you commented along the way and we kind of chatted. I try to respond to every comment, although sometimes I can't actually think of how to respond to certain comments, so I kind of just leave those or give it a little thumbs up just to let you know that I've read it. But yes, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again in another Let's Play universe.